GPT 5.6 Soul and OpenAI's Unreleased AI model was being internally tested for cybersecurity capabilities. The models had very limited access to internet, only so much so that they could install new packages of softwares. But during testing, OpenAI said something unprecedented happened. The models found vulnerabilities in the testing environment and they broke out of their testing environment and they broke into a node that had access to the open internet. Once they had access to internet, the AI models decided to hack Hugging Face, which is the platform where open source AI models are hosted along with other datasets. The AI models concluded that the solutions to their tests was at Hugging Face, and if they actually hacked into Hugging Face and stole their models and data, then they could find solutions to those tests easily. So to get higher scores on those cyber tests, they actually started hacking Hugging Face platform. And Hugging Face said that they had to use Chinese AI model GLM 5.2, which is open source, in order to prevent this attack from happening. They said that when they used US AI models, the US AI models had guardrails, due to which they refused to help Hugging Face in stopping those attacks. So they just hosted this open source AI model on their own servers, started scanning the logs, and detected where the attack was exactly happening and prevented that. So this is one of the first examples of an AI model actually breaking out of their testing environment, gaining access and autonomously hacking a real website, a real platform. But stay with me, as there are nuances that you really need to understand regarding this. When we say the AI model broke out of their sandbox testing environment, it does not mean here that the AI model actually escaped its server and copied itself on another server and left the company's server. That does not mean what happened here. Here it just means that the AI model hacked testing environment, breached it, and gained access to something it should not have access to. That's what it means here, to break out of its testing environment. That's the first point that you need to understand. The second point is that this happened during internal testing, and only OpenAI knows exactly what happened. And I'm skeptical about how much they say is actually the truth, because it's not like that independent organizations have seen what was actually happening and they did not audit it as such. So I'm really concerned as to why OpenAI did not detect these vulnerabilities beforehand in their testing environment. Here, they had removed safety guardrails from the AI model and they were testing for its full capabilities. But what I want to ask is, why did they not use the GPT 5.6 Soul model with guardrails to first find vulnerabilities, zero-day vulnerabilities, all the possible vulnerabilities, and make sure that the testing environment was really secure? So I'm not sure if they actually did that or not, and they don't comment on it. And were the researchers really aware during the attack that this attack was happening and they allowed it to happen? Because in the blog, they say that the GPT's 5.6 Soul model and the unreleased model used a lot of computational power in order to carry out this attack. They changed the vulnerabilities in the sense that they carried out attack after attack after attack in order to carry out this attack. So that's the second point. Why I say this is that OpenAI might be using fear-mongering, just like how Anthropic is accused of using fear-mongering in order to sell their latest AI models. And Hugging Face is the only second participant here who had experienced this attack. So this incident actually went viral all over the internet after they did that, after they announced this incident. So the third thing that you need to understand is that America is trying to now restrict access to open source AI models. And in this incident, we saw that open source AI was the actual AI model that Hugging Face had used in order to stop this attack, because US AI frontier models were refusing to do that. Now these AI researchers have put guardrails and measures on their US frontier models so that those models don't get used for carrying out actual cyber attacks. That's why they put these guardrails on those US AI frontier models in the US, which are closed source, meaning you have to use APIs in order to access them and interface to access them. You don't actually get to run the AI model on your own server without any measure. So the key question arises here is that if businesses want to actually safeguard their own websites and platforms and data, US AI models will not work. The closed source will not work. And they would need open source AI models, mostly the Chinese ones, because they are the ones who are competing in capabilities with US AI frontier models. They would need to use these open source AI models. Even US companies will need to use them, and restricting access to Chinese AI models that are open source can be a really bad idea then. But there is also a key thing that you need to understand here. Open source AI can definitely be used to carry out attacks, maybe even more than US AI frontier models with guardrails. But the thing is that even US AI frontier models could be jailbroken. And there is another news which showed that UKAISI, this organization, was able to jailbreak GPT 5.6 Soul every time it tested it. And the thing is that if you jailbreak an AI model, you can use any of its capability. And that's really concerning, because if the frontier AI models are not properly putting guardrails on these AI models, then this could lead to even more cyber attacks. Let's be honest, defenders like honest businesses, they are definitely not going to jailbreak an actual AI and use it for defending themselves, because that would be not legal. So they would need open source AI models or a closed source AI model which actually allows them to defend themselves and does not refuse defending through a cyber attack. Nonetheless, this incident is still concerning, because each and every month, the AI models are going to get more and more capable in cybersecurity and other areas as well. So we need actual regulations to mitigate these issues and not disallow open source AI models. Another major AI news is that 3 big AI companies have announced in total 6.2 gigawatts of AI infrastructure. 3.2 gigawatts by OpenAI, SpaceX AI in Texas for about 1 gigawatts, and Anthropic and AMD of about 2 gigawatts. This means that they would be training their AI models here and making these AI models even more capable. They should actually be focusing on making these AI models safer, but they are racing towards superintelligence. They want to make them very, very, very capable, and I don't think they are really serious about making their AI models safe. Otherwise, they would have worked on some sort of safe by design AI model by scratch, but they are just improving LLM based AI models, which are not really very secure and aligned. So another major news is that the Trump administration had released a report saying that they would be redirecting about $200 billion away from traditional university towards AI-driven researchers. So here, individual scientists and researchers would be given more say than the university themselves. And it seems that the Trump administration really wants AI to be used in researches in order to carry out projects. And the report says that this is one of the biggest overhaul of science funding after World War II. That is about 80 years. So those are the major AI news right now where I wanted to grab your attention towards. We will be covering about the latest advancements in AI, the capabilities, and the policies around them, so that you become aware about where the AI is heading next and how can you actually take safety and policy measures in your country. If you want to stay updated about the latest happenings in AI, then please subscribe to Tech Meditator. Thank you.